Hello everyone, this is Glen, Guyton, your cultural navigator, helping you to navigate culture so that you'll be more productive, more effective, and you'll do it with a lot less stress in your life. Well, today I want to talk a little bit about the diversity and inclusion programs that are out there. I read an interesting article. I pasted it to my Facebook page, so if you follow me on Facebook, you can check out the article. But the article is titled, "Pollsters Say Many Americans Not Serious About Diversifying Classrooms and the Workplace." So we have all of this talk out there about diversity and inclusion. People say that it should be a priority, but no one wants to do the work. And why is that? Well, I think there are a couple of reasons why this article may be ringing true. It says that people want diverse campuses, they want a diverse workplace, but they're not necessarily ready to do the work to get there, to get there. And so why is that? For a couple of reasons, I believe. First of all, it's just a lot of bad diversity and inclusion training out there. People are doing it because they have to, but they're not getting quality training. So first and foremost, you want to make sure that you're getting quality diversity and inclusion training. And make sure you have a trainer that's helping you to articulate what your goals are. It's not like a one-size-fits-all type of thing. The other thing is, I think that people really don't understand diversity and inclusion. And so again, follow me, follow some of my pages, read my blogs. I try to help people understand what we actually mean when we talk about diversity and inclusion. Those terms actually do mean something. Don't get your news from Twitter, but get yourself a qualified diversity and inclusion trainer. Check their credentials. I have some questions that you can ask when you get ready to start your diversity and inclusion programs. It's a lot of resources out there. Make sure you're getting the right resources. And the other part of it is, I think people are just fearful. You don't want to make mistakes. You don't want to be called a racist. You don't want to be called homophobic. You don't want to be called sexist. Whatever the is, you don't want to be called that. I know I don't want to be called names. Nobody likes being called names. But that shouldn't keep you from doing the work to diversify your classroom if you're an educator, diversify your schools, diversify your teams if you are in a traditional workspace, if you work in a nonprofit or a religious setting. Diversity and inclusion is important in those settings, very important. So whatever aspect of life you're working in, I think diversity and inclusion will help to improve your bottom line, help you to more effectively reach your goals. But you want to do it the right way, okay? Right? You want to do it the right way. There's an old joke that says, "How do you get to Carnegie Hall?" And the response is always, practice, practice, practice. Practice makes perfect. That's not exactly true. Perfect practice makes perfect. If you are practicing something the wrong way, you're just getting really proficient at being horrible. None of us want to be proficient at being bad, unless you're Michael Jackson, of course. Michael Jackson was bad. All right, so I want you to think about effective diversity and inclusion programs in this way. This article also references a Pew survey study. It says that Americans see advantages and challenges in the country's growing racial and ethnic diversity. So that's just one aspect that they're asking people about. But people are challenged by that. Why? 74% of the respondents says only take qualifications into account even if it results in less diversity. Another group says 75% of the people says that diversity, racial and ethnic diversity, is important in the workplace. 75% of the people agree that it is important. So most of us, just 25% of the people say it's not important. Most of us think that diversity and inclusion is important. But when you ask the question, when it comes to decisions about hiring and promotions, companies should, that's the question, companies should or shouldn't take qualifications into account even if it results in less diversity. And so when you ask the question in a different way, people are saying, we don't want unqualified racial and ethnic people. That's basically what this Pew study says. And as a racial ethnic person, a person of a non-dominant culture, racially and ethnic wise, I don't want unqualified people working with me. But that shouldn't come at the expense of diversity and inclusion. And this is what I'm saying, is that as we think about diversity and inclusion in the workplace, or if we're working with schools and thinking about educators, or how to best manage our classrooms, what we're really talking about is talent acquisition. We want the best qualified people possible to be a part of our teams, to be a part of our production, to be a part of our system. Our people resources are very important. So we want to make sure we're looking at our talent acquisition in the right way. Who wants untalented people to work for them? I don't. I want the best people that I can get. Does that mean that I can't get good people and also pay attention to diversity and inclusion? No, they are not mutually exclusive. They are not. And if you think they are, you're wrong. If your HR professional in your office is telling you that we can't find qualified people of color, or we can't find qualified women, then you need to get another HR manager. You really do. Because that, to me, that means it's a lack of effort, it's a lack of creativity, it's a lack of knowledge. Talent acquisition is one of the most important things that you as a business owner or as a leader of an organization can do. Talent acquisition will determine the fate of your company. You have to have, if you watch The Profit with Marcus Lemonis, he says there are three things that you need to worry about. It's people, process, and product. People, process, and product. So that's a triad. If any one of those pieces isn't working well in your system, you're not going to be performing well in your business or as a leader. So talent acquisition, we want the best talent possible. I hope you all can agree with that. We want the best talent possible. And so as you think about diversity and inclusion, do you want untalented people? No, you want talented people. And so you can pay attention to talent acquisition while at the same time working on diversity and inclusion. Also, as you think about the other part of this HR cycle is talent retention. You want people to stay. So not only do you want to acquire the best talent, you want your talent to stay for a while. Why? Because it costs money to get new talent. It costs money to train new talent. So you want to retain your talent as long as possible. You want to keep good people doing good work. You want that corporate knowledge to stay as long as possible, as long as they are effective. And you want talented people to help you with this aspect, with acquiring other talented people. Okay, and so as we think about diversity and inclusion, it helps us have a broader pool to pull from. The chances of catching that great talent increases if you have a larger pool. And in this day when when the labor market is pretty tight, you need as big a pool to acquire talent as possible. That's where diversity and inclusion comes into play. You get yourself a bigger pool. You have a bigger ocean in which to fish from. If you're fishing in a small lake, eventually you're going to use up all those fish. So you have to have a broader pool for your talent acquisition. That's one benefit of strong diversity and inclusion programs. The next part is talent retention. If you get a talented group of people, they're more likely to stay if they feel comfortable in that work environment. And so strong diversity and then next inclusion practices will make sure that the minority groups, the women, or whatever non-dominant group you bring into the workplace, they're going to feel like their gifts are being utilized, that they are valued, and they're going to stay with your company a lot longer. And they're going to tell their friends, hey, this is a great place to work. And so you've helped in your talent acquisition and your talent retention. And then just the bottom line again is talent. And so as you think about strong diversity and inclusion programs, you want good talent, right? You want the best talent, the best talent. And so are you saying I can't have I can't have good talent and also think about diversity and inclusion. Yes, you can, but it takes work. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen overnight. And so what you need to do is you want to find people that fit. And so sometimes as we look at qualifications, we have some type of metric, we have some type of rubric that we're using to judge who will work on our teams, but fit is also important. You don't want the same kind of talent on one team. You need some organizers, you need some people that are going to put their head down and just do some work. You need some creative thinkers. You need some people that are a little bit more pragmatic, that are going to just kind of question things on the team. So you want a diverse team anyway. And also we want to add other aspects of this diversity to make sure we have a good fit. You want to be able to develop new markets. And so if everyone is from the same pool, they're from the same pond, the same lake, they're not going to know how to develop new markets. They're not going to have relationships with new potential clients for you, or to help you if you're in the classroom to adapt to different learning styles, different cultural biases that can happen if you are an educator. You want talent that will help you in your development of your programs, your continued growth as an organization. And then you want some creativity, right? If we all have the same experiences, if we've all been through the same pipeline, we went to the same college, we lived in the same neighborhood, how creative are we going to be? We all have the same experiences. We want some new, fresh ideas on our teams. We want new ways of learning and thinking about situations. We want different responses to the situations we'll face as a company. So creativity is all part of bringing in diverse talent and including them into the development of who you are as an organization. You want the right fit, you want creativity, and you want continued development of resources, right? And so part of what you have to do to get this diverse talent is continue to develop resources. That means what is your pipeline? How are you acquiring your talent? In order to get a good pool to pull from, you may have to start developing your own talent. You may have to have some type of farm system. You may have to go into different schools, visit different colleges, talk to different people, use different marketing techniques. All those things will help you develop better qualified talent. Internship programs, another way to work at diversity and inclusion without sacrificing talent, your talent acquisition as far as getting the best and the brightest. Develop your talent, develop diverse talent and bring them into your system. It's going to take some time. You're not going to do this in one hiring cycle. It may take 4 or 5 years, but you have to have a long-term strategy if you're really going to be effective at diversity and inclusion. And so just to kind of sum all this up is that the quality of your talent does not diminish because you are practicing good diversity and inclusion. You can have a strong diversity and inclusion program and still get the best talent. It takes work, but it takes work to be a successful company. It takes work to be a successful educator. You don't just roll out of bed into success. No, it takes preparation. So you're going to have to develop talent. You're going to have to be creative, and you're going to have to make sure that you have the right fit on your teams as an organization if you want to continue to grow and develop and be relevant in this changing world. I hope that helps you a little bit. Again, my name is Glen Guyton, your cultural navigator. Check out my website. Check out my Facebook page if you want to keep up with what I'm doing and if you want more information on some of the training programs that I offer. Thank you. Have a great day.